There's a quiet secret that most people miss when they pray. It's not about the words you say. It's not about how long you pray. It's not even about how strong your faith feels in one perfect moment. The real secret is the feeling you carry while you pray. And the strongest feeling you can carry is not fear, not worry, not pressure, not begging, not forcing. It is peace, real peace, the kind that makes your shoulders drop, the kind that slows your breathing, the kind that tells your body, I am safe right now. That peace is not just a nice mood. Peace is a vibration, and that vibration can draw in the very answers you've been asking for. Many people think the way to get what they want is to push harder. They try to pray louder in their mind. They try to repeat the same request more times. They try to prove to life that they are serious. But the strange thing is, the harder they push, the more tired they feel. The more tired they feel, the more they worry. The more they worry, the more they pray from worry. And then they wonder why nothing changes. They wonder why the same problems keep coming back. They wonder why the help they asked for feels delayed. They wonder why it feels like life is not listening. But life is listening. It's just listening to something deeper than your words. It's listening to your state. Your state is the emotional place you live in most of the time. Your state is what your body believes is true. Your state is the energy you bring into every room, every conversation, every quiet moment when nobody is watching. When you pray from panic, your body is saying, I don't have it. When you pray from fear, your body is saying, it won't happen. When you pray from stress, your body is saying, I have to fight for everything. And when you pray from peace, your whole being is saying, it is already held, it is already cared for, I am open, I am ready, I trust. Peace does not mean you don't want things. Peace does not mean you don't have goals. Peace does not mean you don't feel pain. Peace does not mean you pretend everything is fine when it is not. Peace is something deeper. Peace is what happens when you stop squeezing life with your fists. Peace is what happens when you stop chasing your answer like it's running away from you. Peace is what happens when you stop treating your prayer like a rescue rope that must pull you out this second, or else you will sink. Peace is when you remember you are not alone in the water. Peace is when you remember there is support, even if you can't see it yet. Here is the twist that changes everything. The vibration you carry is not only reacting to your life, it is also shaping your life. The feeling you hold becomes the path you walk, not because of magic words, but because of what that feeling does inside you. When you are at peace, you see more options. When you are at peace, you speak with more care. When you are at peace, you make better choices without forcing them. When you are at peace, you notice small openings that you would miss if you were rushing. When you are at peace, you stop pushing away help with your fear. You are human, but fear has a pattern. Fear focuses on what might go wrong. Fear expects loss. Fear prepares for disappointment. Fear becomes tense. Fear becomes protective. Fear makes the heart close. It makes the mind overthink. It makes the body tight. And when you live in that signal, you will keep meeting life through that lens. You will see danger where there is none. You will miss good things because you don't trust them. You will push away help because you think you must handle everything alone. Peace has a different pattern. Peace focuses on safety. Peace expects support. Peace prepares for good outcomes. Peace stays open. Peace stays soft. Peace stays clear. Peace still sees reality, but it doesn't panic about reality. Peace says, I can deal with what is in front of me. Peace says, I am not alone. Peace says, I am guided. And because peace keeps you open, peace allows the answer to come in. Think of it like a radio. The music is always playing, but you must tune in. If you are on the wrong station, you won't hear the song you want. You can scream at the radio. You can beg the radio. You can blame the radio. But none of that changes the station. You have to turn the dial. Peace is the dial. Peace tunes you into the kind of answers you've been praying for. When you are tuned into peace, you do something very important. You stop resisting. Resistance is the inner fight that says, this shouldn't be happening, or it must happen now, or it must happen my way, or I can't handle this, or I will never get what I want. Resistance is not only mental, it is also emotional and physical. It tightens your body. It speeds up your thoughts. It makes you restless. It makes you reactive. And that reactivity creates more problems. Peace removes resistance. Peace says, I can accept that I am here even if I don't want to stay here. Peace says, I can breathe the rough this moment. Peace says, I can take my next step without panic. That is powerful, because when you stop fighting, you have energy again. And with energy, you can move. With energy, you can change. With energy, you can receive. Peace also changes how you speak. When you are stressed, you may speak sharply. You may complain more. You may blame. You may panic out loud. You may spread worry. But when you are peaceful, you speak with care. You speak with calm. You speak with confidence. You speak in a way that draws people closer instead of pushing them away. That alone can change your life. Many blessings come through people. Many answers come through relationships. Peace makes relationships safer. Peace makes people want to help you. Peace makes you easier to trust. Peace makes you easier to work with. Peace makes you shine. Peace changes how you see. When you are worried, your mind has tunnel vision. It looks only at what is wrong. It looks only at what is missing. It looks only at what could fail. But when you are peaceful, your vision opens. You see more choices. You notice more opportunities. You see solutions. You see patterns. You see what you can do. You see who you can talk to. You see the next step instead of the whole mountain. Peace changes how you act, changes how. This is key. Because prayer is not only asking, prayer is also becoming. You become the person who can hold what you are asking for. If you want a new level of love, you must be able to hold love without fear. If you want a new level of success, you must be able to hold success without panic. If you want healing, you must be able to hold healing without constant stress. Peace prepares you. Peace makes you ready. Peace builds the inner space that can carry the gift. This is why peace attracts what you prayed for. It's not because peace is a trick. It's because peace matches the energy of receiving. Fear matches the energy of blocking. Peace matches the energy of allowing. Peace is an inner yes. Peace says, I am open, and what you are open to can enter. Another simple truth: you cannot receive what you are always chasing. When you chase, you are telling life, I don't have it. You are telling yourself, it's far away. You are telling your body, we are missing something. That creates more missing. Peace stops the chase. Peace says, it's on the way. Peace says, I am safe while I wait. Peace says, I can live today and still receive tomorrow. Peace also brings you back to trust. Trust is not blind. Trust is not pretending. Trust is a steady belief that life can guide you. Trust is choosing to believe there is help, even if you don't see it yet. Trust is choosing to believe you are being led, not left behind. And when trust grows, fear shrinks. When fear shrinks, you become lighter. When you become lighter, you become more open. When you become more open, answers can arrive. So peace is not just a feeling that comes after your prayer is answered. Peace is part of the answer. Peace is the vibration that invites the answer in. Even if you understand peace, you might still feel stuck sometimes. That's normal. Old habits are strong, old fears are loud, and life can be stressful. So it helps to know what blocks peace the most, so you can catch those blocks early and shift them. One big block is praying from panic. This looks like repeating the same request over and over, not because you feel connected, but because you feel scared. It feels like, please, 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 with a tight chest. It feels like you can't breathe until it happens. It feels like you are waiting for life to rescue you. And again, it's human. But panic makes prayer heavy. It turns prayer into pressure, and pressure makes your mind tight, not open. Another block is forcing the outcome. Forcing means you decide exactly how life must answer you. You tell yourself, it has to happen this way, or it has to happen by this date, or it has to come through this person, or if it doesn't come like this, it means I'm failing. That kind of forcing creates stress. It also closes you to better paths. Sometimes the answer is real. but it comes through a different door than you expected. If you force one door, you might miss the open window. Another block is judging yourself. This is a painful one. People often think, maybe I don't deserve good things, or maybe I'm not spiritual enough, or maybe I'm doing it wrong, or maybe I'm not worthy. When you judge yourself, your heart closes. You feel shame, and shame is a heavy vibration. Shame makes you hide. Shame makes you shrink. Shame makes you feel separate from love. But prayer is connection. Peace grows when you remember you are already loved. You don't have to earn love by being perfect. You can be growing and still be supported. Another block is overthinking signs. This happens when you become so focused on proof that you stop living your life. You look for numbers, messages, symbols, little clues. You keep asking, is this a sign? And you do it because you want relief. But it can become a trap. Because you start giving your power away to outer things. Peace comes from within. Peace is not built by chasing signs. Peace is built by choosing trust. When you trust, you will still notice signs, but you won't need them to breathe. Another block is the evidence trap. This is when you look at your life and say, nothing is changing. You look at your bank account, your relationship, your health, your job, your home. You see the same facts, and your fear uses those facts as proof that your prayer isn't working. But the truth is, outer life often moves after inner life shifts. Your inner shift is the first step. Your outer shift follows. If you keep checking the old picture every day, you can pull yourself back into the old feeling. It's like planting a seed and digging it up every morning to see if it grew. The digging delays the growth. Another block is talking against your prayer. This is when you pray for peace, but then spend the whole day saying, nothing ever works for me, or I'm always unlucky, or it's hopeless, or I'll never get what I want. You may say these words as a habit. You may say the as jokes. You may say them to protect yourself from disappointment, but your words matter because they carry your state. They train your mind. They teach your body what to expect. Peace grows when your words match trust. Another block is staying around constant negativity. This doesn't mean you cut off everyone, but it does mean you protect your inner space. If people around you feed fear all day, it becomes harder to stay peaceful. If people mock your faith, it becomes harder to feel supported. If people complain nonstop, it can pull you into the same vibration. Peace is a choice, but your environment can make that choice harder. So it helps to limit what drains you when you can. Now here's the important part. You don't fix these blocks by fighting them. Fighting creates more tension. You fix them by noticing them, then returning to peace. You catch the panic, then you breathe. You catch the forcing, then you soften. You catch the shame, then you remind yourself you are loved. You catch the sign chasing, then you return to trust. You catch the evidence trap, then you focus on your new state. Peace is not about never slipping. Peace is about returning. returning again and again, gently, without self-attack. And every time you return, you build strength. You build a new habit. You build a new vibration. You become the kind of person who can receive what you've been praying for. Not because you forced life, but because you finally stopped pushing it away. And once you understand these blocks, you'll start seeing them sooner. You'll notice when your mind starts to race. You'll notice when your chest tightens. You'll notice when you start planning from fear. And in that moment, you will have a choice, a simple choice. Return to peace. That return is the turning point. Here is the heart of it. If peace is the signal, then allowing is the way you hold that signal steady. Many people pray like they are trying to pull the answer toward them with force. They squeeze the prayer, they grip the timing, they grip the outcome, they grip the how. They tell life, do it now and do it like this. But forcing always carries fear under it. Even if the words sound faithful, the feeling underneath is often panic, and panic makes the mind tight. A tight mind cannot receive clearly. Allowing is different. Allowing is not giving up. Allowing is not being lazy. Allowing is not saying nothing matters. Allowing is saying, I will do my part and I will stay open for the rest. Allowing is trusting that the answer can come through more than one path. Allowing is trusting that help can arrive in ways you did not plan. Allowing is trusting that love is still possible even after pain. Allowing is trusting that doors can open even after long delay. Allowing is trusting that you can breathe even while you wait. The shift is simple, but it is deep. Instead of begging life to change, you align yourself with the feeling of already being supported. Instead of praying from fear, you pray from peace. Instead of saying, I need this or I can't be okay, you say, I desire this and I trust I can be okay while it unfolds. That one change removes press, and pressure is what blocks many blessings. So here is the main thought process. It is calm, it is steady, it is gentle. It goes like this. Peace is in me now. I am supported now. I ask for what I desire and I allow it to arrive in the best way. That's it. Not 100 lines, not complicated words, not a perfect mood, just a clear inner posture. Now notice how this differs from normal positive talk. You are not pretending you already have everything. You are not denying your bills. You are not ignoring your pain. You are not acting fake. You are doing something real. You are choosing your state first. You are choosing the feeling of support even before the full answer shows up. You are choosing peace even while you are in the middle of real life. That's why it works. Because it is honest and steady. It meets life where it is, but it doesn't live in fear. Here is another way to say it. Wanting can be okay, but wanting with tightness creates resistance. You want something, but you also fear you won't get it. That fear is the heavy part. Allowing removes that heavy part. Allowing says, I can want this and still trust. Allowing says, I can ask clearly and still relax. Allowing says, I can take steps and still let life help me. If your prayer has been, please give me peace, try shifting it to, peace is in me now. If your prayer has been, please fix this fast, try shifting it to, guide me to the best next step. If your prayer has been, why is this not happening? Try shifting it to, I am open to receive in the right time. If your prayer has been, I can't handle this, try shifting it to, strength is flowing to me now. If your prayer has been, I'm scared, try shifting it to, I choose trust over fear, one breath at a time. The goal is not to make your life perfect in one day. The goal is to keep returning to this calm signal. Peace first, then ask, then allow. When you live this way, your prayer becomes clean. It becomes clear. It becomes lighter. And a lighter prayer is easier to carry, easier to repeat, and easier to live with. Allowing also changes how you respond to delay. Without allowing, delay feels like rejection. It feels like no. It feels like never. But with allowing, delay can feel like not yet, or a better path is forming, or you are being prepared, or something is being protected. That doesn't mean you like delay. It means delay does not break you. It means you keep your heart open instead of closing in anger. There is a quiet strength in saying, I trust. Trust does not mean you have no questions. Trust means you don't let questions turn into fear. Trust means you stay connected even while you wait. Trust means you keep living your life even while you hold a desire. Trust means you stay kind to yourself even on hard days. So keep this simple thought process close. Peace is my home. I ask, I allow, I receive. Repeat it when your mind starts racing. Repeat it when you feel pressure in your chest. Repeat it when you want to control everything. Repeat it when you feel pulled into doubt. This is not about getting it right once. It's about choosing it often. Now you need a way to make this real in daily life, because it's easy to feel peaceful for 1 minute and then lose it the moment your phone lights up, or a bill comes in, or someone says something hurtful, or your mind remembers a problem. So the practice must be simple. It must fit into real life. It must be easy enough to repeat, even on busy days. This method has 3 parts: morning, daytime, and night. Each part is short, but the power is in consistency. Small, steady returns to peace create a strong vibration over time. In the morning, before the day takes over your mind, take 5 minutes for peace. Not 15, not 30, just 5. Sit up or stay lying down if you need to. Place one hand on your chest if that helps. Take a slow breath in and out. Then choose a simple phrase, something like, "Peace is with me today," or "I am guided today," or "I allow good to come to me." Repeat the phrase slowly. Let it sink into your body. Then ask one gentle question. What would a peaceful person focus on today? A peaceful person focuses on what they can control. A peaceful person focuses on the next step. A peaceful person focuses on kindness. A peaceful person focuses on doing one thing at a time. A peaceful person does not wake up and run straight into panic. So set your inner tone before you step into the world. This is not magic. This is training. You are training your nervous system. You are teaching your body a new normal. Next, add your prayer. Keep it short. Name what you desire. Name what you need help with. Then add the key line. I allow it to arrive in the best way. If you want, you can also add, show me the next right step. This keeps your prayer open and active. You are not forcing an outcome, but you are welcoming guidance. Now, during the day, you need a quick reset. This is the part that saves you when life gets loud. The reset takes 10 seconds. You can do it anywhere. You can do it while you work. You can do it while you walk. You can do it while you wait in a line. You can do it before you answer a message. The reset is simple. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly, and whisper inside, I return to peace. That's it. When you feel stress rising, do not argue with your stress. Do not shame yourself. Just return. Return like you are coming home. Stress may still be there, but your relationship with it changes. You stop letting stress drive your day. You start driving again. Now, add one more daytime practice. Turn daily moments into peace reminders. When you wash your hands, think, I release worry. When you drink water, think, I receive support. When you open a door, think, new doors open for me. When you sit down, think, I am held. These are tiny habits, but they keep your vibration steady. They keep you from falling into the old pattern of constant fear. Also, practice soft faith. Soft faith means you believe without forcing. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's quiet and steady. If your mind says, what if nothing changes? Respond softly, I am guided. If your mind says this is taking too long, respond softly, I allow right timing. If your mind says, I can't, respond softly, strength is in me. You are not fighting your mind. You are redirecting it. Then at night before sleep, take 3 minutes to seal the day with peace. Many people go to bed with worry. They replay mistakes. They fear tomorrow. They run their problems in circles. But sleep is sacred. Sleep is where the body resets, so protect it. At night, breathe slowly, then review the day with gentle eyes. Ask, where did I feel even a small moment of peace today? Maybe it was a calm cup of tea. Maybe it was a kind message. Maybe it was a moment of laughter. Maybe it was a quiet walk. Maybe it was a deep breath. Notice it. Thank it. This trains your mind to look for support instead of danger. Then name one thing you are releasing. Say, I release the need to control everything. Or, I release fear about tomorrow. Or, I release old guilt. Keep it simple. Then say, I allow answers to come while I rest. This is powerful because sometimes the next step arrives after you stop pushing. Sometimes the mind receives clarity when it finally relaxes. Sometimes life moves when you stop gripping. This daily method is not hard. That's the point. Peace grows through small returns. The vibration of peace is built the same way a muscle is built. Steady practice, not perfect performance. When you begin living this way, you will likely ask, how do I know it's working? That's natural, but be careful. If you keep asking this from fear, you turn peace into pressure again. The goal is not to chase proof. The goal is to become steady. Still, there are signs that peace is taking root, and these signs often come before the full answer arrives. The first sign is inside you. You start feeling calmer around the same problems. The problem may still be there, but your panic is less. You breathe more easily. You sleep a bit better. Your stomach is less tight. Your shoulders relax more quickly after stress. You stop living on edge. This is huge because a calmer body is a receiving body. The second sign is your thoughts become softer. You may still have doubts, but they don't control you as much. You stop telling harsh stories about yourself. You stop saying nothing ever works. You start saying, I'm learning. You start saying, I'm guided. You start saying, there is a way. Your inner voice becomes kinder, and a kinder inner voice changes everything. The third sign is you begin to notice small help, small support, small openings. It might be a useful conversation that happens at the right time. It might be an idea that comes to you while you are doing something ordinary. It might be someone offering help without you asking. It might be a delay that saves you from a mistake. It might be a no that turns into a better yes later. These are not random. These are signs that your inner state is shifting and your life is responding. The fourth sign is you feel more guided in your actions. You stop doing things from panic. You stop sending messages you regret. You stop jumping into choices just to escape discomfort. You begin choosing with calm. You begin waiting when waiting is wise. You begin acting when action is clear. This guidance is one of the most beautiful parts of peace. It makes life feel less confusing. The fifth sign is you stop needing constant reassurance. You stop needing to ask 10 people what you should do. You stop needing to check signs all day. You stop needing to prove anything. You begin to feel an inner steady yes, a quiet knowing, not arrogance, not stubbornness, just calm certainty that you are supported. You may also notice changes in how people respond to you. When you carry peace, people feel safer around you. They listen more, they trust more, they respect you more, not because you are trying to impress them, but because peace has a strong presence. Peace is attractive. Peace is grounded. Peace is clear. Another sign is you become less reactive. Someone might say something sharp, and instead of exploding, you pause. Someone might disappoint you, and instead of breaking inside, you breathe. This does not mean you accept bad behavior. It means you respond from strength, not from panic. Peace makes you stronger, not weaker. Now here is an important sign that many people miss. The moment you stop obsessing about results. This is often when things start moving fast, because obsession is a form of fear. Obsession is a form of I don't trust. Peace removes obsession. Peace says it's handled. And when you truly feel that, you stop pulling at the seed you planted. You let it grow. So if you notice these signs, don't rush to label them or test them. Just appreciate them and keep going. Peace builds like sunrise, slowly at first. Then suddenly the whole sky is bright. Your job is to keep returning, keep allowing, keep trusting. Now it comes down to one simple choice. Not a choice you make once, a choice you make again and again. Peace first, because peace is not something you wait for after life fixes itself. Peace is what makes you ready to receive what you have been praying for. So make a quiet commitment right now. You don't need to announce it to the world. You don't need to force it. Just choose it inside. I will return to peace. That's enough. That one decision can change the way you pray. It can change the way you move through your day. It can change how you respond to stress. It can change the kind of help you notice. It can change what you allow into your life. Keep it practical. Tomorrow morning, take 5 minutes. During the day, return to peace in 10 seconds. At night, seal your heart with calm. Let your prayer be clear and gentle. Let your heart be open. Let your mind be steady. Do not force the how. Ask for guidance. Ask for support. Ask for the next right step. Then allow. If you want to strengthen your commitment, place it into words. Write one sentence you will live by this week, something like, peace is my vibration, or I am guided, or I allow good to reach me. Keep it simple. Repeat it when you feel pulled into fear. Repeat it when you feel pressure. Repeat it when you feel doubt. And if you choose to share one small commitment, make it a quiet promise, not a performance. Something like, I choose peace today. That's enough. One line can become a new path. Peace is not a small thing. Peace is not a weak thing. Peace is not a luxury for people with easy lives. Peace is a spiritual power. It is the strength to stay open when life tries to make you close. It is the courage to trust when fear tries to take over. It is the calm that clears your mind so you can hear guidance. It is the softness that lets love reach you. It is the steadiness that helps you hold what you receive. When you choose peace, you are not ignoring your problems. You are changing how you meet them. You are no longer feeding fear all day. You are no longer praying with tight hands. You are no longer asking with shame. You are becoming ready, ready to receive, ready to act with wisdom, ready to notice the doors that were always there, ready to walk through them when they open. The vibration of peace attracts what matches it. Support, clarity, healing, right timing, right people, right steps, and the kind of answers that feel like they were meant for you. You don't need to chase what you've been praying for. You don't need to beg life to care. You don't need to force a door that is not yours. You only need to come home to peace again and again, and let peace be the signal that says, I am open. Ask with honesty. Wait with trust. Move with calm. Let your prayer be simple. Let your heart be soft. Let your mind be clear. Let your body breathe. Peace first. And from that peace, allow everything you've been praying for to find its way to you. When you are at peace, you stop shutting doors with your doubt. Peace makes space. Peace creates room. And what you've been praying for often needs room to arrive. Think about how many times you begged for something and the begging made you feel smaller. Think about how many times you tried to make it happen and the trying made you feel tense. Think about how many times you asked for a sign and the asking made you stare at life like it owed you proof. That is not peace. That is pressure. And pressure does not attract gentle answers. Pressure attracts more pressure. Pressure makes the mind tight. Pressure makes the heart guarded. Pressure makes the body tired. And when you live tired, you can miss the very thing you asked for, even if it comes near you. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine you pray, and instead of feeling like you are chasing a moving target, you feel like you are placing your request into loving hands. Imagine you pray, and instead of fearing the how, you rest in the yes. Imagine you pray, and instead of telling life what it must do, you say, I am ready to receive in the best way. Imagine you pray, and instead of checking every hour for results, you keep your heart soft. You keep your eyes open. You keep your breath calm. You keep your inner world steady. That steadiness is not weak. That steadiness is power, quiet power, the kind that does not need to shout. Peace is not passive. Peace is not giving up. Peace is not doing nothing. Peace is a strong inner choice. Peace is deciding, I will not make fear my home. Peace is deciding, I will not let worry lead my prayers. Peace is deciding, I can ask and I can also trust. And when peace leads, your prayer changes from a cry into a clear signal. It becomes simple. It becomes clean. It becomes strong. It becomes something you can hold without shaking. If you've been praying for love, peace is what lets you receive love without pushing it away. If you've been praying for money, peace is what lets you make wise moves without panic. If you've been praying for health, peace is what helps your body rest and repair. If you've been praying for direction, peace is what quiets the noise so you can hear what's true. If you've been praying for a breakthrough, peace is what opens the door inside you first, because many answers do not arrive in loud moments. Many answers arrive in calm moments. They arrive when you stop clenching. They arrive when you stop arguing with the timing. They arrive when you stop telling yourself it's too late. They arrive when you stop calling your life blocked and start calling it guided. Some people hear peace and think it means you have to be calm all day, every day. That is not real life. Real peace is not never feeling stress. Real peace is noticing stress and choosing to return to center. Real peace is feeling fear and still breathing. Real peace is crying and still trusting. Real peace is being honest about your pain without building a house inside it. Real peace is telling the truth and still believing there is a way forward. You have prayed for things that matter to you. You have prayed for things you truly need. You have prayed for things that would change your life. And if it has felt like nothing is moving, this is not a message to blame you. This is a message to free you, because you don't need to become perfect. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to earn the right to be helped. You simply need to shift your inner posture from tight to open, from pushing to allowing, from fear to peace. And when you do, you will feel something change, not only in your mind, but in your whole body, like a knot loosening, like a door unlocking, like a weight dropping from your chest. Here's the simple truth. Peace is not the reward that comes after everything works out. Peace is the path that helps things work out. Peace comes first. Peace leads. And the moment peace becomes your home, the things you've been praying for can finally find you there. If peace is so powerful, then why do so many people struggle to feel it? Why do so many prayers feel stuck in the air? Why do so many hearts feel tired from asking and waiting? It's because most people were taught to pray from the wrong place. They were taught to pray when they are scared. They were taught to pray when they are desperate. They were taught to pray as a last option when everything feels like it is falling apart. So their prayer becomes tied to panic. And panic is a heavy vibration. It is not wrong to pray in pain. It is human. But if pain is the only place you pray from, you train your mind to connect prayer with fear. And over time, fear becomes the main feeling in the prayer. Then the prayer becomes less like an open hand and more like a clenched fist. A clenched fist cannot receive. You can hold it out, you can beg, you can shake it at the sky, but it is still closed. Peace is what opens the hand. Peace is what says, I am ready to receive. Without peace, your prayer can turn into a loop. You ask, then you worry. You worry, then you ask again. You ask again, then you worry more. Then you check for proof. Then you try to control the outcome. Then you get tired. Then you feel guilty for being tired. Then you feel like you are failing. Then you ask again, but now the asking is full of pressure. That pressure becomes your signal, and that signal keeps you in the same cycle. This matters because what you feel shapes what you do. When you live in worry, you make choices from worry. When you live in fear, you speak from fear. When you live in stress, you treat people from stress. You may not mean to, but you do. And then you get results that match that state. Worry creates more worry. Fear creates more fear. Stress creates more stress. Not because life is punishing you, but because your mind becomes focused on what is wrong. Your body becomes ready for danger. Your heart becomes guarded. And guarded people often miss gentle miracles. Guarded people often push away the help that arrives in a quiet form. Here is what is at stake if you don't learn this. You can keep praying for the same thing for years, but your prayer will keep carrying the same heavy feeling. You can keep asking for love, but you will keep showing up in love with fear. You can keep asking for money, but you will keep moving around money with panic. You can keep asking for peace itself, but you will keep living in the habit of stress. And then you will think prayer does not work, when really prayer is working on the level of your state. Another thing is at stake too, your health. Constant worry is not only a mental thing, it becomes physical. It shows up as tight shoulders, tired eyes, shallow breathing, stomach tension, headaches, a racing heart, restless sleep. And when your body is always in that place, it becomes hard to feel hope. It becomes hard to hear guidance. It becomes hard to notice support. It becomes hard to believe you are safe enough to receive. And without that sense of safety, even good things can feel scary. Even blessings can feel like threats. You may get an opening, but your fear will say it won't last. You may get a chance, but your worry will say, I will mess it up. You may feel love, but your old pain will say it will leave. Peace is what breaks that pattern. So what happens if you do learn this? If you learn to carry peace first, your whole prayer changes. You stop praying like you are trying to convince life. You stop praying like you are trying to force a door open. You start praying like you are aligning with what is already possible. And when you align, you become ready. You become calm enough to listen. You become steady enough to act in the right way. Because answers often arrive through your actions. Through a call you decide to make. Through a message you feel guided to send. Through a choice you feel strong enough to take. Through a habit you finally have the peace to change. Without peace, you may not take that action, or you may take it in a rushed way that pushes things away. Peace makes action clean. Peace makes action wise. Peace makes action timely. This is why some people seem to get answers faster. It's not that they never struggle. It's not that they never cry. It's not that they never feel fear. But they return to peace quickly. They pray, then they breathe. They ask, then they trust. They hold a steady state that says, I am supported. And that state becomes like a path. Life can walk toward them on that path. Help can reach them on that path. New ideas can find them on that path. Here is another stake. The way you see yourself. When you pray from pressure, you can start to believe you are not enough. You can start to believe you are doing it wrong. You can start to believe you are being ignored. You can start to believe you don't deserve good things. Those beliefs can sink deep, and then your prayers become mixed with shame. Please help me, but also, I am not worthy. Please change this, but also, I always fail. That mix creates confusion inside you. Peace clears confusion. Peace says, I can be imperfect and still be loved. Peace says, I can be struggling and still be guided. Peace says, I can ask without shame. Peace says, I can receive without fear. Without peace, you may also become addicted to signs. You may say, if I see a sign, then I will relax. But it is supposed to be the other way around. When you relax, you notice what is already there. When you calm your nervous system, you can see the small steps that lead to big change. When you stop demanding proof, you can feel the quiet yes that has been with you all along. Peace is not something life gives you after it answers. Peace is something you choose so you can finally notice the answer when it comes. And yes, this is urgent, not because you should panic, not because you should rush, but because every day you spend in worry is a day you pay with your energy. It costs you. It costs you sleep. It costs you joy. It costs you clarity. It costs you presence with people you love. It costs you the ability to enjoy today. And the strange truth is, your answer may not even want to arrive in a house full of stress. Your answer may be waiting for you to soften, waiting for you to breathe, waiting for you to create room. This is not about blaming yourself for being stressed. Stress happens. Life is real. Bills are real. Loss is real. Pain is real. But your response is also real. Your inner choice is real. And when you choose peace, you are not denying reality. You are changing how you meet reality. You are choosing to face life with an open heart instead of a clenched one. So here is what is at stake. In simple words, if you keep praying while feeling tight, you may keep blocking what you asked for without meaning to. But if you learn to pray while feeling peace, even a small amount, your whole life can begin to shift. Your mind becomes clearer, your heart becomes softer, your body becomes calmer, your choices become stronger, your relationships become lighter, your opportunities become easier to see, and the answers you've been praying for can begin to move toward you in ways you never planned, but you will recognize as right. Because peace is not just a feeling. Peace is a signal. Peace is a welcome sign on the door of your life. Peace says you can come in. Right now, before anything else happens, take a small pause. Not a long one, not a perfect one, just a real one. Let your attention come back to this moment. You don't have to change your whole life in 1 second. You don't have to solve every problem right now. You only need to do one thing: create a little space inside you. That space is where peace begins. Take a slow breath in, not a forced breath, just slow. Let the air fill your chest. Let it move into your belly. Then breathe out gently, like you are letting out a sigh you didn't know you were holding. Do it again. Breathe in slow and breathe out soft. If your mind is racing, that's okay. Minds race. Just keep breathing. Now notice your shoulders. If they are lifted, let them drop a little. You don't need to push them down. Just allow them to fall. Notice your jaw. If it is tight, loosen it a little. Notice your hands. If they are tense, relax them a little. Notice your forehead. If it is tight, smooth it out. These small changes tell your body something important. I am safe enough to soften. Here is a simple idea. Your body believes what you practice. If you practice tension all day, your body learns tension as normal. If you practice peace, even for 1 minute, your body remembers it. Peace becomes familiar. Peace becomes possible. And when peace becomes possible, receiving becomes possible too. Now in your mind, think of one thing you have been praying for. Just one. Don't pick the biggest, hardest thing if that feels too heavy. You can, but you don't have to. Pick something that matters to you, something real. It could be help with money. It could be a better job. It could be healing in your body. It could be peace in your home. It could be strength to get through a hard season. It could be love. It could be direction. It could be a fresh start. Choose one. As you think of it, notice what feeling comes up first. Many people feel worry. Many people feel fear. Many people feel sadness. Many people feel tightness in the chest. If that happens, do not judge yourself. Do not say, I'm doing it wrong. You are not doing anything wrong. You are simply noticing your current state. That's all. Noticing is power. Noticing is the first step. Now we are going to do something different. Instead of asking for the thing right away, we are going to place peace first. Think of peace as the ground you stand on. If the ground is shaking, it is hard to build anything. If the ground is steady, even a small step feels safe. Peace makes the ground steady. So for the next few breaths, do not ask for anything. Just say a simple phrase inside your mind. Keep it easy. Keep it gentle. You can say, peace in me. Or you can say, I choose peace. Or you can say, I am held. Pick one short phrase and repeat it slowly, like you are rocking a child back to sleep. Not rushed, not loud, not intense, soft. Peace in me. Breathe in. Peace in me. Breathe out. I choose peace. Breathe in. I choose peace. Breathe out. Now imagine peace like warm light in your chest. You don't need to see it perfectly. Just imagine a feeling of warmth. Imagine it spreading a little through your shoulders. Imagine it moving into your stomach. Imagine it going down into your legs. Let your body feel supported by the chair, by the floor, by the ground. You are not floating. You are held. Let that be true for a moment. Now ask yourself a simple question. What would I feel like if I knew I was supported? Not supported later, supported now. Even if you don't see the full answer yet, even if you don't know the timing, just supported. What would that feel like in your body? Maybe it would feel like a slower heart. Maybe it would feel like softer breathing. Maybe it would feel like less pressure in your chest. Maybe it would feel like a small release behind your eyes. Maybe it would feel like your stomach unclenching. You don't need a dramatic change. A small shift is enough. Even a 5% shift is powerful. Now, keeping that small piece, bring your prayer back to your mind. The one thing you chose. But this time, do not pray like you are begging. Do not pray like you are trying to convince. Do not pray like you are fighting time. Pray like you are placing your request into calm hands. Pray like you are handing it over with trust. You can say it simply inside, "This is what I desire," or "This is what I need help with," or "Please guide me," or "Please open the right doors," or "Please heal what needs healing." Keep it simple, keep it honest, then add one more line. "And I choose peace while I wait," or "And I am open to receive," or "And I trust the best way will come." Notice what that does. When you add peace to the prayer changes shape. It becomes lighter, it becomes cleaner, it becomes less desperate, and desperation is what closes doors. Peace opens them. Now here's the most important part of this quick exercise. After you pray, resist the urge to chase the outcome in your mind. Resist the urge to run through every problem again. Resist the urge to start planning from fear. For just a short moment, return to peace again. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. This is how you train your vibration, not by doing something perfect once, but by returning again and again. Prayer is not only a request. Prayer is also a practice of state. Every time you choose peace, you are telling your mind and body, "I live in trust." And trust is a strong signal. Trust changes what you notice. Trust changes how you act. Trust changes what you allow. Trust changes what you attract. Now one more gentle step. Think about what you would do today if you truly believed your prayer was heard. Not tomorrow, not after proof. Today. Would you breathe a little deeper? Would you speak a little kinder? Would you stop punishing yourself with harsh thoughts? Would you take one small step you've been avoiding? Would you rest more? Would you drink water? Would you clean one small area of your space? Would you make one call? Would you send one message? Would you forgive one small thing? Would you let go of one old worry? You don't have to do all of it. Just notice one small T. Hing. Peace often leads to simple actions, not rushed actions, not forced actions. Simple, clear, gentle. And those gentle actions can become the pathway for what you've been praying for to enter your life. Now, breathe again, slowly, and let this sentence land inside you. Peace is not something I wait for. Peace is something I choose. Even if life is not perfect, even if I am still in the middle of it, I can choose peace now. Feel how that changes your energy. Feel how it changes the way you look at your desire. Feel how it changes your inner posture. Your prayer is still real. Your need is still real. Your dream is still real. But now you are not squeezing it with fear. You are holding it with peace. And when you hold your prayer with peace, you become ready, not only for the answer, but for the life that comes with the answer. You become steady enough to receive it. You become calm enough to recognize it. You become open enough to welcome it. You become wise enough to keep it. Stay in this feeling for a few more breaths. Let it be simple. Let it be calm. Let it be real. Peace first, then ask. Peace while you wait. Peace as you move through your day. Peace as the vibration that draws in what you have been praying for. There is a reason this message matters so much. It's not just a nice idea. It's not just something that sounds good when life is calm. This is something that shows up in real life, in real moments, for real people who are tired of feeling stuck. Because when peace becomes your first step, not your last step, life begins to respond in ways that feel almost surprising. Not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped blocking it with fear. Here's what happens for many people. They carry a heavy problem for a long time. They think about it from morning to night. They replay it in their mind. They worry about the worst outcome. They blame themselves. They try to control every detail. They pray, but the prayer feels tense. It feels like a pressure-filled request. It feels like they are trying to push a mountain with bare hands. And then one day, they don't even change the problem yet. They change their state. They choose peace. They stop fighting life inside their mind. They stop arguing with the timing. They stop treating their prayer like an emergency alarm that must ring all day. They soften. They breathe. They do the peace practice, and something starts to shift. It often starts small, not always with a huge miracle. Sometimes the first proof is that they sleep better. They wake up with a calmer body. They stop checking their phone with dread. They stop feeling that tight fear in their chest. That may not sound like a big sign, but it is. Because when your body calms down, your mind becomes clear. And when your mind becomes clear, you make better choices. You speak differently. You show up differently. You notice what you were missing. The first door that opens is often inside you. Then, because your inner world is calmer, your outer world starts to move. A conversation becomes easier. A problem that felt stuck begins to loosen. Someone reaches out at the right time. A new idea comes to you in the middle of an ordinary day. A chance shows up, not because you chased it, but because you were steady enough to see it. Think of it like this. If you are in a noisy room, it is hard to hear a quiet voice. But if the room becomes quiet, you can hear a whisper clearly. Your peace quiets the noise. And many answers arrive like whispers. They arrive as gentle guidance, not loud commands. They arrive as a calm feeling that says, "Do this next." They arrive as a simple thought that feels right. They arrive as a person who says the exact thing you needed to hear. They arrive as a yes where you expected a no. They arrive as a delay that protects you from something you couldn't see. They arrive as a door closing so a better door can open. Now notice how different this is from forcing. Forcing is loud. Forcing is tense. Forcing is trying to control everything because you don't trust. Peace is different. Peace does not sit and do nothing. Peace is not lazy. Peace is not weak. Peace is clear. Peace is steady. Peace says, "I will do my part, but I will not destroy myself with worry." Peace says, "I will take steps, but I will not take them from fear." Peace says, "I will be responsible, but I will not panic." And this is where the proof becomes real, because when you stop panicking, you stop making panic choices. When you stop making panic choices, you stop creating panic outcomes. When you stop creating panic outcomes, you start building a new path. And on that path, you start meeting the kind of help you prayed for. This is why some people feel like their life changes fast after they learn peace. They didn't become a different person overnight. They didn't suddenly get a perfect life. They simply stopped leaking their energy. They stopped feeding fear all day. They stopped using prayer like a desperate shout. They started using prayer like a calm connection, and that connection opens doors. Sometimes the proof comes through relationships. When you carry peace, you stop chasing love. You stop begging for attention. You stop trying to earn someone's kindness. You become steady. You become clear about what you deserve. You stop accepting hurt as normal, and then, without forcing it, healthier connections begin to appear. People treat you better when you treat yourself better. And peace is one of the strongest ways to treat yourself better. Sometimes the proof comes through money. When you carry peace, you stop spending from stress. You stop making choices just to feel relief for one moment. You stop acting like you are always behind. You start making calm, wise decisions. You start noticing small ways to save. You start seeing opportunities that were always there. You start receiving help you once pushed away because you felt ashamed. Peace can open the mind to solutions. Sometimes the proof comes through health. When you carry peace, your body gets a break from constant stress. Your nervous system begins to relax. Your sleep becomes deeper. Your digestion improves. Your breathing becomes fuller. You feel more present in your body, And when the body is calmer, healing becomes easier. Peace supports healing because stress often keeps the body in a state of fight. Peace brings the body back into rest. And sometimes the proof comes in the simplest way of all. You feel guided. You feel held. You feel like you are not alone. That alone can change everything. Because when you feel supported, you stop feeling like you have to carry the whole world on your shoulders. You stop treating life like a battle. You stop living like you are always in danger. And that shift is not small. It is huge. It is the difference between drowning and floating, between begging and receiving, between fear and trust. This is why peace is not just a feeling. Peace is a doorway. And once you walk through it, your prayers do not feel like they are going into empty space. They feel connected. They feel heard. And life starts to answer, sometimes in ways that are quiet at first, but clear once you see them. Peace works because it changes your vibration. And vibration is simply the emotional signal you send out. It is the feeling tone inside you that becomes the message of your life. People often focus only on the words of prayer, but prayer is deeper than words. Your heart speaks too. Your body speaks too. Your mind speaks too. And all of that together creates a signal. If your signal is fear, you are not bad.